Hey folks, today we're going to talk to you about hawk prevention. We're going to give you two methods. It's our favorite methods and they've always worked. Okay everybody, this first method deals with optical illusion by reflecting the sky on the ground. Alright guys, the first thing we're going to show you how to make is what we call tricky sticks. An optical illusion that tricks the hawks. Come in the shop and I'll show you how to make them. Okay, so here we are in the shop, and I'm going to show you how to assemble these things. It's only going to take a minute, I promise. Let me show you what I got. The first thing I got is a simple glue gun heating up. The next thing I have is some stakes. These things are about $1.89 at Tractor Supply. Southern States is cheaper actually, but you can get them at any hardware store. We also have some CDs, DVDs, or whatever you have that's reflective. That's all you're going to need, folks. Get right with it. Stay tuned. Now, it don't really matter what CD or DVD you got, as long as it's old and you don't want to use it anymore and it has a reflective side on it like this. This in here is Dwight Yoakam. See, now it belongs right in the garden. This is... Now the first thing I want you to do is grab one of these stakes and score it up really good, either with an X-Acto knife, a file, sandpaper, whatever it takes to rough it up a little bit, so you can get that hot glue that we're getting ready to put on it stick a whole lot better. Okay folks, here goes our hot glue. Now all I want you to do is go right over top of that score part on the very top of that stake and put you a big old dollop right there. The next thing you're going to do is take that CD and place it right on top of that dollop. Now what you want to do is make sure you get it right in the center and push down firm enough to get some of that hot glue to mushroom over into the center of that CD so it'll hold it in place. Now here's that next step finished, guys. Here's the CD or DVD on top of it, and there's your hot glue. Kind of mushroom right around the edge of it to keep it from falling off. And that's it, guys. That's the last step. You're done. Now we have this handy little cart here that has a handle on it. It's got wheels. It's kind of mobile. And I'm using that today for my stand, to stand these things up pretty straight until they dry. And then we're going to take them outside and show you how to install them. Alright, here you can see we got a finished product. And we know that because the glue's opaque. It ain't no longer transparent. So what I want you to also look at here is how it flared up over the side of the CD on each side. Now if it don't do that when you put your CD down on top of it, let it dry and just take your glue gun and go around those edges and flare it out. Kind of like a little wing nut to hold it on there when it dries. Now here you can see I've got about 8 rigged. I'm thinking somewhere around 10 is going to be good for us in this size. But you can make as many as you want to fit your need. So here we are in next year's garden space, and we're going to set these things somewhere between 8 and 10 foot apart in a zigzag or any kind of irregular pattern. And as you can see, they're pretty easy to put in, just one step and they're done. Just make sure you got them kind of level, because it's the reflection that makes these things work so good. Now if you research this DVD method, you're going to see a lot of people having a more permanent setup, and what they'll do is tie these DVDs on a string across their any chicken run or coop that don't have a top on it. So the reason why I came up with this method is because, as you can see, this is a mobile fence. It's also solar. So in the springtime we're going to move the chickens and the tractor out of here, and we're going to plant our garden. And we want to be able to move this stuff at the drop of a hat without untying a bunch of strings. Now this also works in a pastured setting with the fence also. You're just going to have to make quite a bit more, and also do a strategic lay in case you need to mow, bush hog, or do other things with a tractor. Now I hope that clears up our first method on hawk prevention. Now let's move on to the second, and it's just as effective as the first. Now the second method I'm going to talk about, guys, is a lot more unorthodox, and you're probably going to laugh, but I promise it works. It's black chickens. Now you got to take into consideration the area that you're in, because this second method won't work unless you have crows in the area. Now crows can't stand any bird of prey, and there's always more of them anyway. So when a hawk or an eagle or anything else is flying around and sees black chickens, he's not going to swoop down most of the time, because he don't want to deal with Heckle and Jekyll. It's just not worth the trouble to him, and the hawk will gladly move on to an easier meal. We've been using this method forever, guys, the whole time we've had chickens, and we've never lost a chicken to a hawk or any other bird of prey. These two methods has worked for us without fail, And I hope they help you too, guys. Just remember, for this second method to work, you have to have crows in your area. And don't get me wrong, you're not going to get rid of the hawks. They're still here. Matter of fact, just above a tree over here, about 100 yards away, is where a couple of hawks nest in the wintertime. They're always flying around, looking down. You can hear them, but they never make an attempt. Hope this video helps. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.